Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
The snow from this past weekend is still causing problems for many around the valley, including first responders. Between narrow or impassable roads and drifted in front doors, officials tell Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter, Bailey Hurley, it all adds time to a job that's already a race against the clock.
It's a view you probably won't see in a magazine anytime soon. Large drifts swallowing many front doors and patios not only causes problems for homeowners, but first responders as well.
It can be a hassle as far as like accessing doors and stuff. It can slow down opening the doors.
We have to shovel our way in. That's not uncommon.
Both say shovels are always on deck in their vehicles, but say the sooner you can clear some sort of path during or after a storm, the quicker firefighters and medics can get to you in an emergency.
Of all the things that we do, we'll find a way into the house, but it does make it faster if there's something dug out so that we can pull our hose and stuff like that up to the door without having to go through knee-deep snow.
On top of clearing your doors and sidewalks, Carly reminds you to dig out fire hydrants in your neighborhood as well, saying it's been difficult to access them.
You may not have a fire this year. Everybody kind of gets the attitude, well, it's not going to happen to me. Well, we respond on over 200 fires a year, so it's happening to people in town. It may not be your house, but your neighbor's house.
Carly adds between stalled cars in the middle of the street, narrow, icy roads, and snow-packed neighborhoods, winter doesn't make their job easy.
Everything slows down, which is critical in our job because time is of the essence to get there as fast as we can.
But hopes a little help and awareness from the public can make it go a little smoother. In Fargo, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
Officials say the southwest part of town is the most difficult to respond to when bad weather hits, saying the lack of trees and developments makes it the perfect place for large drifts. One snowplow driver for the Minnesota Department of Transportation has seen better days. This happened last night when the upright bed of his plow truck was a few inches too tall for the Bass Lake Road overpass on Highway 169 in the Twin Cities and got wedged underneath. The truck operator was spreading salt at the time. Engineers inspected the overpass before removing the truck bed. The bridge was deemed structurally safe, but the incident did back up evening rush hour traffic for a few miles. As we get ready to say goodbye to 2019, we had sunshine in a lot of areas today. Seems to make the cold and snow more tolerable. Here's Hutch with a look at what you'll be dealing with if you're out this evening in no wait weather. Hutch.
Thanks so much, Andrea. If you're out this evening, we do have quiet weather for most areas this evening, but there's big changes that we'll tell you about for New Year's Day. We have heard that there'll be a few bison and maybe even fans heading south, not because of the weather, however. Take a look at temperatures here in the valley. 5 in Roseau and Thief River Falls, teens here in Fargo-Moorhead, and teens in Jamestown. It's very warm in southwest North Dakota in the 30s. Take a look at the visible satellite imagery. You can see the piles of snow out here. Not as much snow apparently near Bemidji, but that's because of the tall trees. Those show up on the visible satellite imagery as well. But a huge impact area from our most recent storm. If you missed it, here is the last sunset of the decade. Absolutely gorgeous. Here's what you can plan for this evening if you're out and about in Fargo-Moorhead. Steady temperatures and a south wind. Clouds will be increasing as we go through the overnight hours, and they will bring precipitation, a mixed bag of precipitation on New Year's Day. I'll go over your hour-by-hour details in that here, Andrea, in a few moments, but for tonight, it's looking good.
All right, thanks, Hutch. The Moorhead Police Department will be strictly enforcing parking regulations in order to help public works crews clear the streets of snow from the major storm system this past weekend. Police say officers started tow tagging over 60 vehicles last night that have not been moved in the past 24 hours and say they'll begin impounding them this evening. The cost to get your vehicle out of impound will start at around $125. A 42-year-old man is now facing multiple charges after police say he fired a gun inside an apartment in Grand Forks. Officials say Jeffrey Aldred has been charged with reckless endangerment and discharge of a firearm in city limits. The bullet went through 3 different units. No one was hit or hurt. It happened last night around 10 in the 600 block of First Avenue South in Grand Forks. Police said there wasn't much damage to the building. They also say this is still an active investigation, and if you have any information to please call police. Funerals were held today for 3 people killed in a farming accident. Stephen Bozel, Kurt Bozel, and 12-year-old Alex Bozel died last week after they were overcome by toxic fumes while working in a silo on a farm near Millerville, Minnesota. Kurt was Alex's father and a brother to Stephen. The Bozel brothers were both volunteer firefighters for the Millerville Fire Department. Services were held in Millerville. The family has a GoFundMe page, and for that link, you can visit our website, valleynewslive.com. A lot of people have plans to eat healthier in the new year, maybe doing a cleanse to get a jump start. Detox products promise to get rid of toxins in your body, but what do those cleanses do to our bodies? Heather Brown went to a very busy Lifetime Fitness in Chanhassen, Minnesota to find out.
We can cleanse with soup, smoothies, juice.
And then there's this secret detox drink. Water, lemon juice, apple cider vinegar, cinnamon, cayenne pepper, and honey. Bottoms up. Whoa! Have you ever tried a detox diet?
I tried.
I think I'm scared of it, to be honest.
I saw it on Pinterest, and I think everything on Pinterest is great.
Are these cleanses going to change my life?
Probably not.
Family doctor Matt Hockett says patients always ask him about stuff they read online.
Are they bad for me?
No, generally they're not harmful. They're just not doing quite as much, they don't have quite as much benefit as people think that they would have.
In other words, Beyonce's lemonade diet won't turn you into Beyonce.
Well, the body is actually an amazing detoxifier in and of itself. We have liver and kidneys and lungs that usually gets rid of whatever toxins people have built up. A lot of people think by increasing the amount that you put out through urination or stool that you're going to increase the rate that your normal toxins would leave, but clinically it just doesn't bear out.
We use cleanse to describe a number of things, from juicing to Whole30.
I've heard people say I detox by cutting sugar.
We want to cut out the sweets.
Cutting carbs.
Less alcohol.
Those all sound like very good things.
So no brownies until February?
I mean, I'm not going to commit to that, but that would be the idea, yeah.
I think the problem with juice is we miss out on the fiber, and that's probably the most important part of that fruit or that vegetable. Okay. So I'd rather have people just eat a healthy diet with plenty of fruits and vegetables, drink lots of fluids, and get plenty of exercise.
So you've learned.
Yes, I've definitely learned.
The doctor says people drop weight on these cleanses because they're not eating as much. He also says a short cleanse could be beneficial if it encourages someone to think long-term about healthy habits. As always, check with your doctor if you decide to try some sort of detox. The U.S. is sending more troops to protect its embassy compound in Baghdad that was penetrated by militias and their supporters earlier today. U.S. officials say about 100 Marines from the Marine Corps Embassy Security Group, which is trained specifically to provide security at American diplomatic missions, will be deployed. Defense Secretary Mark Esper said the U.S. has taken actions to ensure the safety of American citizens, military personnel, and diplomats. Be sure to stick around for the latest on this story on NBC Nightly News. Those annoying robocalls won't completely go away, but we won't get as many. President Trump has signed a measure designed to boost enforcement authority and expedite the ways in which robocalls are identified. The new law was signed on Monday. It also prohibits the cost to consumers to block robocalls. Industry experts say while the law goes a long way to curb the nuisance of robocalls, it won't completely eliminate it. They warn that scammers will likely find a way around the new law. President Donald Trump is the most admired man in 2019, but he didn't win the title alone. The president tied for first place with former President Barack Obama, according to Gallup News. The poll consisted of Democrats, Republicans, and independents who were asked what man that you've heard or read about do you admire the most, and also what woman. This is the 12th time former President Obama has won Most Admired, but he wasn't the only Obama to take the title this year, with former First Lady Michelle Obama winning the Most Admired Woman, beating out First Lady Melania Trump. The University of North Dakota mourns the loss of Lowell Schweigert, who passed away on Sunday. Schweigert is former student athlete at the University of North Dakota. He's also the brother of current UND football coach Bubba Schweigert. Visitation will be from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. with a vigil at 7:30 on Sunday, January 5th at St. Michael's Church in Grand Forks. Funeral services will begin at 10 a.m. Monday, January 6th at St. Michael's Church.